Hallelujah, everybody. All right, we're going to read the Torah reading for today as we continue to read this week's Torah reading for this coming Shabbat. The Torah reading is Exodus 30, verse 11 to 34, verse 35. And today we'll be reading chapter 32. So if you want to turn to Exodus chapter 32 and read along with us, I'm going to do that right now. And the people saw, let's go back to 31 when we were just reading. 31, they would talk about the Sabbath being a sign for the sons of Israel. And then when it ended, Yah wrote with his own hand the tablets, the commandments, and handed them to Moses. Now, verse 32, the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain. And the people gathered to Aaron, Aaron being second in charge, right? They said to him, "Rise up, make for us gods who may go before our face." So they're asking Aaron to do this vile thing that Yah told them not to do. As for Moses, the man who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. Now Aaron had a choice to make. Aaron could have rebuked them, but he didn't. In verse 2, and Aaron said to them, "Break off the rings of gold, which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me." So we see the heart of these people right now. Not only do we see them wearing earrings, but we also see the sons, the men wearing these earrings. We're told not to mimic the ways of the heathens of this world. It's a very common practice in Egypt for men to wear earrings. And here it says, break off the rings of gold, which are in the ears of your wives and your sons. Keep that in mind. Verse 3, and all the people broke off the rings of gold in their ears, and they brought to Aaron. And he took them from their hand and formed it with an engraving tool. And he made it a casted calf and said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up from the land of Egypt." So he took them from the hand and formed it with the engraving tool, making it a casted calf. Now, some translations will say he threw it into the fire and it just came out as a calf. No, he made this. And Aaron saw, verse 5, he built an altar before it, and Aaron called it and said, a feast to Yah tomorrow. There was no feast. Aaron was doing a wicked thing by pleasing the people for their wicked request. And verse 6, and this is interesting too. Keep this in mind. It's an Aaron saw, and he built an altar before it. And Aaron called and said, a feast to Yah tomorrow. Tomorrow, the next day, tomorrow. And they rose up early in the morrow. Early in the morrow, early in the morning. They rose up early the next day. The next day. And they offered burnt offerings and brought near peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat, drink, rise up to make merry. Basically, the people here took off their clothes and they started to have a massive orgy. And this is a generous way to say it, to rise to merry. The people were wicked. They started eating and drinking in excess. And everyone was doing vile, wicked things against Yah. But remember, everybody, Yah sees everything, no matter what you're doing. We go to verse 7. And Yahweh spoke to Moses, "Come, go down, for your people." He's so upset, he doesn't even call them his people. He says, "Your people, whom you have caused to go up from Egypt, are corrupted. They have quickly turned off from the way which I have commanded them. They have made for themselves casted calf, and have bowed to it, and have sacrificed to it. And they have said, These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up from the land of Egypt. It was Aaron that said that. The people requested it. And verse 9, and Yah said to Moses, I have seen these people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. And now leave me alone, that my anger may glow against them. I may consume them, and I will make you a great nation. And Moses, just like we saw Abraham praying that Yah wouldn't destroy all the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, and Lot had a chance to escape. In verse 11 here of Exodus 32, we see, and Moses prayed before the face of Yah, his Elohim. And he said, Why, O Yah, does your anger glow against your people? So he didn't say my people, it says your people, whom you with a great power and with a mighty hand caused to go up out of the land of Egypt. Verse 12, why should the Egyptians say, for evil has caused them to go up to kill them in the mountain and to consume them on the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce anger and be moved to pity as to the evil of your people. So we see here him pleading with Yah. In verse 13, remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, whom you swore by yourself, and you spoke to them. I will multiply your seed like the stars of the heavens, and all the land which I have said, I will give to your seed, and they shall possess it forever. Verse 14, and Yah was moved to pity concerning the evil which he had spoken to do to his people. Because Yahweh was moved. See, it's amazing. It's amazing here, what we read here. So let's go back and read that. So the people requested a God, and they gave it to Aaron, and Aaron built the altar and said, these are your gods, and tomorrow you may do this. They offered their burnt offerings, and the people were doing these vile, wicked things. Verse 7, Yah spoke to Moses, complaining about the people that have turned. And Yah says against your people. Just amazing information here what Yah did. And this is the plea of Moses. And Yah was moved to pity consuming the evil. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain with the two tablets of the written on their two sides. On this and on the side of it was written. And that, can you imagine him going down, like what he was thinking? And the tablets were the work of Elohim. Remember, it was written with his hand. And the writing was written of Elohim. It was engraved on the tablets. And Joshua heard the voice of the people in their shouting. And he said to Moses, a sound of war in the camp. And he said, it is not a sound of war, it is a cry of might, nor a sound of cry of defeat. I am hearing the sound of singing. And it happened as he came near to the camp, and he saw the calf and the dances. The anger of Moses glowed, and threw his tablets from the hand, and he broke them below the mountain. And he took the calf which they had made, and burned it with fire, and ground it, and it was fine. Then he scattered it on the face of the water, and he made the sons of Israel drink it. And Moses said to Aaron, what has the people done to you, that you have made to come on them the great sin? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my of my Lord glow. You know the people that it is in evil. You know the people that it is in evil. And they said to me, make for us gods who may go before us. For Moses, the man who caused us to go from Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And I said to them, whoever has gold, let them break off. And they gave it to me, and I cast it into the fire, and this calf came out. Aaron is lying right here. We already read, he says, they gave it, and he says, and he took from them their hand and formed it with an engraving tool. He said he formed it, but now he's saying they gave it to me, and it cast it into the fire, and a calf comes out. And Moses saw the people that they were naked. Remember, when they started to play or to make merry, they were naked. For Aaron had let them naked for scornful shaming among their enemies. And Moses stood at the gate of the camp, and he said, who is for Yah? Come to me. And all the sons of Levi assembled to him. And he said to them, so says Yah, Elohim of Israel. Each one put a sword on his thigh, and pass from the gate to gate in the camp. And each one kill his brother, and each one his neighbor, and each one his kindred. They're told to kill their brothers and their kindred. And the sons of Levi did according to the word of Moses. And almost 3,000 men of the people fell that day. Wow. Wow. You talk about confusing, misunderstood act. But this was the people that what they were called to do. And Moses said, fill your hand today, for Yah, since each one has been against his son and against his brother, in order to give you a blessing today. And it happened on the morrow, Moses said to the people, you have sinned against a great sin, and now I will go up to Yah, perhaps I can make atonement for your sin. So it's interesting here. Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin. And we just saw about the atonement of the priest that we read. In verse 31, and Moses went back to Yah and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin, and they have made for themselves gods of gold. And now if you will lift up their sin, and if not, I pray blot me out from your book, which you have written. And Yah said to Moses, whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him from my book. And now go lead the people to that place which I have spoken to you. Behold, my messenger shall go before your face. And all the day of my visitation, I will visit their sin on them. And Yah plagued the people because they made the calf, which Aaron made. So in 34, it says, the messenger shall go before your face. The messenger of Yah that he sends. Wow. Some people would suggest that messenger was Yeshua. The messenger of Yah. And the plague the people brought upon themselves because of the gold. Such an amazing Torah reading and an amazing chapter. But may you read this over and over again and pray about it as we continue to read the next chapter and develop our understanding of this story and this event that happened. Okay, everybody, thank you for reading this Torah with me. And please continue to read them. So when the Shabbat comes and people discussing it, you know where you're at and you know what's going on. Okay? We lift you all up in prayer today. Thank you for your prayers and support of this ministry. Yah be with you all. Thank you and shalom.